Give it back. Give it to me. Yes. Hello everybody. I am still on the Zero SRF, thanks to the English Electric Motorcycle Company, and me and Reeno have had to come this way, so today we're going to do a two-up. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this. There is definitely an awful lot of interest in electric motorcycles. When this was being delivered, and the guy who was delivering it was just explaining to me some of the in-depth ins and outs. We had a gentleman on a push bike pull up. It stopped in the middle of the road to listen to what we were saying. I don't know if he wanted to talk to us, but like right then was not the time to be doing it. The delivery driver has to get on and do his things. I'm trying to get this information in, and this guy's just hovering there. So he eventually sort of went, "Oh, I know, I realise you're busy," and carried on. Later on that day, I went into a car park that I needed to turn around in, and the guy with the dog noticed me. He practically leaped in front of me to try and stop me to ask me questions about it. Then we had this plugged in there charging. We got back to the bike, so we went for a little wander, and not, 5 seconds after we got back to the bike, someone leaped upon us to ask us about it. Nice chap. Turns out he has a Porsche, and he's very much interested in electrics and stuff, just never seen one out and about, wanted to ask a few questions. It's cool. Good time to do it. We know we're charging, so nothing else to do. Jesus. And then 2 young chaps who might even see this video eventually if they check out my channel, because I did mention it. So there's definitely an awful lot of interest out there of people on the streets noticing these. And also where I'm riding around where I live, it might as well be an alien on the motorcycle for the way that people look at me on it. I love it. It feels like a glimpse of the future. Well, not necessarily the future, but this is a future thing that could be more improved in the future, should we say. Not necessarily the only option. Before people start getting really, oh God, only electric bikes, just get over it, Jesus. It's just an option. If you don't want it, don't buy it. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. This is, ah! A lot of people know what I'm talking about there. But anyway, how are you finding it? Because you've been on it for a while now.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun, and it's so comfy. It's a bit weird to start with because you expect all the engine noise, and there's like not really anything apart from like spaceship noises, as I call it.
There's also not a lot of warning to let you know when you need to hold on.
No. So I literally was like, ah!
It's fun.
It is fun.
And it's smooth and it's comfy.
It is, yeah, it really is. I thought that electric motorcycles would be like a scooter, because you're there's no gears, it's just the throttle, but it's nothing like that. It really does feel like a normal bike, but better. It's really fun.
There's no struggling for any power at any point. It's just there.
Yeah.
Sure, it's not there after about 70, 80 miles. It's completely gone, but we'll close the gap. Hold on. Ready?
Yep.
That's not full throttle. That is not full throttle.
Oh my god. That made my stomach go.
See, it doesn't matter that it's electric, it still makes you giggle when it does. G-forces are universal. Now it's a 30.
It's got really good engine braking as well.
Yeah, when the regen's up high, it actually is pretty handy. When you're in traffic and stuff, where you'd normally maybe actually touch your brakes rather than letting off the throttle on this, you can just let off the throttle, and the regenerative braking keeps acting to slow you down. I will find out today whether the replacement charger cable I've been sent is going to fix the issue, but actually it's not that much of an issue anymore, because now I know that there's a fast charger just there, and there is actually a fast charger just down here. When I come off the island anyway, to top this up is, well, if it's topping it up, you don't want to top it up, to be fair, because it costs you £1 to connect and 30p for every kilowatt after that. So you'll end up paying just about as much in a connection fee as you will in topping the thing up. In fact, topping it up there cost me a lot more in connecting than filling.
I think that if anyone is unsure about an electric bike and they get on one, they will change their mind.
Well, yeah, but there's too many preconceived notions. I mean, I get they're really expensive. They're not as good as a petrol bike. But that's the thing. Is like everyone always looks at it from like comparing it to a petrol bike, and it's like, well, it's not a petrol bike, so don't compare it to that.
No.
That's like, you know, you don't compare how good a spoon is to a fork. It's a different thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's yes, okay, it's still a piece of cutlery, but it's not intended for the same sort of jobs, and it won't do things in the same way. So why are you expecting it to? Stop trying to eat soup with that fork.
Yeah, but then if you think about it, it's so much cheaper to top up and charge. You'd save money.
And there's no oil changes,
Exactly.
no sprocket changes, no valve checks, no tax, no petrol costs.
Yeah.
No, you know, I mean, there are costs. Of course, then you get into like replacing batteries, and it gets super expensive. And then you're like, how long do they actually last? And people think they last 5 minutes, and they actually don't. And if you work out that an average petrol bike has a life expectancy of what? Less than 100,000 miles, because people, if you have 20,000 miles on your bike, people are like, oh, so old, 20,000 miles, oh, it's practically done. Handling on it is so good.
I know.
You see what I mean though, that when you turn from one side to the other, it feels completely the same all the way through.
Yeah.
Because you're never feeling a transition of petrol. I mean, petrol doesn't slosh around a huge amount, but with the weight all down the bottom and nothing moving other than you
can notice it.
Yeah, you can feel that you have far more control with your body, because you're not having to like try and counteract a liquid randomly moving around.
Yeah. Oh, doggo, hello.
The other nice thing is in traffic, you don't sit on a red hot bike.
Yeah.
Like in summer, these are super nice because you just get nice cool breezes. You're not getting hit by hot air. You're not stopping at lights. But then again, in the winter, that means that you're not going to get any warmth, you know. So like, when you lean it over, you can just lean more power, and you go.
Whoa! And I don't feel as nervous with it leaning over as I do on like the XJ6, for example.
Yeah, I think that's probably because the XJ doesn't inspire confidence in corners for anyone, either on it or near it or looking at it or anything like that. It's a worry. That's what it's. How is the XJ6 at cornering? It's a worry. Is it broken? No. It's best it's ever been. Before it was terrifying.
Now it's just a mild concern.
It's not that bad, okay, but people start going all like, XJ6 is okay, I own one, alright, I can insult my own bike.
Holding. Whoa! This is a very fun bike.
It's just very pleasant.
It is.
This is the thing. It's got all the It's more pleasant than a bike when you don't care about speed, and it's got more speed than some bikes when you do care about speed. Oh, look at the little jet ski.
Ooh, it's mini.
Do you want to try and jump on it?
No.
Do you want to jump on it and ride it along, and then you can jump back on the bike? Come on, we're like Hollywood. It'll be amazing.
No.
Well, given that it's weekend and the traffic's going to be nasty, and it's probably going to rain in a minute, we will take the more sedate route through the local villages and maybe see if we can find a cow.
Oh, yes.
Cow,
yes, cow friend.
I suppose I should say something about this bike for 2 Up. It's fine. I don't feel like there's quite as much space as some bikes we've ridden, because you are literally on top of me pretty much.
Yeah.
How much room have you got behind you?
Actually, I've got about 3 finger space, so I must come forward a bit.
There's quite a lot of extra space on the back of this bike. Reeno just wants a snack.
Yes.
Snag.
Yes, I snag. Yes.
Terrified, gripping on to what moved you forward.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It was fun though.
And also for the rider, because you don't have to deal with the clutch, you're only dealing with a light throttle, and the brakes are strong enough you only have to touch them with a couple of fingers, or you don't have to yank them on super strong to get the effect that you need with the combination of that regenerative braking. It's very pleasant to ride. I sometimes get a bit of an old achy shoulder on my XJ6 when I'm with 2 Up, because I'm I'm a bit further over. I'm having to hold Reeno up a little bit more when we're in corners and stuff and when we're braking, and that starts to get to my shoulder. But on this, because well, you're holding on lower down and a bit more upright, I'm starting to get it, but it's not as bad. Well, I thought it was going to rain, but I don't think it is. So maybe we should continue our exploration and try and, well, I would say try and find a creature, but I don't think there's going to be creatures. And having said that, actually, I think what we're going to find is people coming down here to be disappointed by a rainy beach.
Yeah.
Let's go see some disappointed people who are hoping for sunshine. Sunshine and blue flag beaches, and what they got was
Poo
dim
water.
day and a poop-filled sea because it was raining yesterday.
Oh.
No, they've already shown the outlet was just draining.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh.
Okay, yeah, actually, if you hit some bumps, it's going to be pretty firm. I think that's the thing. It does have electric bikes inherently have pretty firm suspension because obviously you lose
Well, look at
speed.
her bike.
Huh?
Did you see that woman's bike?
I saw a trike. I think it's electric.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I think my auntie had one of those for years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she got rid of it. I never got to ride it. But it wasn't like a fast thing. It was just
Yeah.
like me. It'd do like 5 miles an hour or something like that.
I could imagine a younger you just messing around on one of them.
Why younger? Why not now?
Well, because you're talking about the past, so I'm talking about you
You're
in
saying
the
I'm
past.
not. You're saying I'm not young.
What? No.
You're saying I'm old. You're saying I'm a wizened bean.
A wizened bean?
Yes,
Wizened?
wizened.
I've never heard that.
I'm sorry.
A wizarded bean.
I'm sorry for your loss.
A wizard's bean.
No, wizened.
No.
Do you think they'll say thank you? I bet you they don't. Told you.
Rude.
Yep.
Doesn't.
I'm sorry to say this, right? But it's always something that surprised me that they always say about, respect your elders and manners. When in my day, we had manners.
Mm-hmm.
When I let people out in cars and stuff, young people always give me a thumbs up. Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Old people, they look at you like you're a peasant and keep on driving.
Well, lean to the bean.
Lean to the bean?
Lean to the bean.
What, the wizened bean?
Yes. That's
Look.
the other thing as well. You'll get people that just look at you as if you're a peasant on the road. And then you'll get people that say, yeah, you can go to a car that's like 1,500 miles away.
We call them Christian drivers. It's just... Predictability is the thing that makes you very safe on the road because people can guess what you're going to do. The indicator is designed for predictability. The brake light for the same reason. We have structures and rules of the ways we're supposed to do things, like mirror signal maneuver, because we're expected to follow that procedure and that helps other people. People's erratic driving is what causes problems. And then when someone breaks a rule, like stopping on a main road to let a car out the side road when there's cars behind them, it gets dodgy. I sometimes will let a car out, but I've already pre-checked there is no cars behind me, there's no one near me behind me, and I'm going to let them out because they don't look like they're going to not pull out on me, if you know what I mean. But I'm not going to do it if there's a car behind me. That's where predictability. Try and be more predictable and you will be safer. Pigeon.
We saw a very cute, very puffed up pigeon today, didn't we?
Yes.
Oh,
You also saw an escape toy with rings on him.
yes.
He should be back home, but he's like, no, I've broken free, I'm not going back.
I found all my pigeon friends.
And a McDonald's.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or actually, technically, it was outside of a Greg's.
Yes, yeah.
I found my friends and I found Greg's. I ain't coming back. He's like, oh, come on, I've got some seed for you. He's like, seed? Seed? You see, this is why I'm leaving. I'm getting cheese pasties and all sorts.
Donut yum-yums. Oh!
Yum-yums? What are yum-yums?
They're like a long donut thing.
Oh.
Covered in like sugary stuff. They're very yummy.
I take from the name of Yum Yum. They are in
Yes.
fact both yum and...
Yes. They are doubly yum.
Actually, I will say something, because of the way I've been sitting differently closer up on the tank rather than further back like I normally do, this seat is quite firm. And I am starting to get a little bit of a sort of a sore butt, not sore butt, but just aware I've been sat on my butt for a while. But it's because I'm right at the front on the narrowest part. Also being pressed into by a Reeno.
I was going to say, I feel kind of the same, but I think it's because I'm leaning over this way.
Why don't you sit where you're supposed to sit? And then I can sit where I'm supposed to sit. And that's a lot more comfortable.
I wanted to snack. And also hold on for my life. I know I trust you. That's really fun though. Oh, I don't like that though. But actually, surprisingly, that's a bit nicer on this than on the other one you did it on.
Oh yes, when you're terrifying me by wiggling the steering on that bike, it feels much nicer than on this one.
I always want to like...
that's much more pleasant when you do that. See, even though we've been messing around, we've got all the way back home, I still have 84% and over 100 miles range at the way that we've been riding at the moment, which, to be fair, on the island is quite good for mileage, but...
Oh my god. I came off this.
You need to pay attention.
Oh, pigeon!
I didn't even... Oh,
He
what was
was
that?
I don't know.
Oh, it's just the...
Yeah, it's just...
It's just the ramps. We should probably head home before the rain starts, although we do need to pop to the shop and grab some stuff for dinner. So thank you for joining us. This was, as I say, it's just a little 2-up. We had to be out anyway. So it was like, why don't we do a little video, see what the bike's like. It's good. It's not the best 2-up bike I've ever ridden in the sense of comfort for me, but usability, it feels great. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. I'm on my way to 100k, and I could really do with the help boosting my way up there. I've only got a couple of thousand to go now, well, a few thousand. Yeah, until the next one, bye bye.
Bye!